We have managed millions of dollars in client ad spend for contractors all over the United States, and hundreds of them being able to successfully scale their business. So today I'm going to share some of those lessons with you on what these businesses have implemented and what they've experienced to get to where they're at today, and really what it took for them to scale their businesses and scale them aggressively every single month, every quarter, and every single year. Now, these lessons and examples I want to be going over with you in this video, in no way, shape, or form am I implying that you're going to be able to do anything with these lessons. I have no idea who you are or what you're capable of doing, but most people wouldn't be capable of scaling businesses as aggressively as we've seen. We're simply just sharing the lessons with you on the channel here. So without further ado, my name is Brady Carlson, co-founder of Dirt2Dollars. Let's jump into the video. Okay, number one lesson when it comes to scaling any type of service-based business, local service-based businesses, which is what most contractors are for the most part, if they're not franchised, is having dialed in marketing systems. Every single one of these companies and contractors has had dialed in marketing systems. So many people rely on word of mouth and referrals, and that's really where they get all of their work come from. So you're basically, if that's you, if that's a situation that you're in, you're really just relying on the market to determine when when to give you a job or when not to give you a job. It's a lot of by chance. There's no predictability to it. It's people just calling you randomly. You might have 2 weeks worth of work, and then you go a week without anything, and then you get another job, 2 weeks worth of work, and then another week or 2 weeks without anything. It's unpredictable, it's unscalable when you're simply relying on people to just stumble across you, accidentally find your website or something, accidentally stumble across your Facebook page, if you're even that far along to have one of those set up, or you're fortunate enough that somebody knew somebody that you did a project for in the past, and that's how you ended up getting a deal. These contractors that are scaling aggressively have inbound systems in place, which means they're reaching out to cold audiences every single day and exposing their brand, their services, what they're capable of doing to a whole bunch of new eyeballs who had no idea who they were prior to seeing their brand or the ad, whatever it is that they're running or maybe showing to that cold audience. But that's where the marketing really comes into play. Paid ad campaigns crush with this. Facebook and Instagram is normally a really great place to start for a lot of contractors, and that's something that we do for literally every single one of the companies that we work with. We make it a staple in the digital acquisition web that we run for all of our clients and build for all of our clients, but it's super important that that really gets dialed in first. Why is it important? Normally because you can target a very large portion of your area and really attract a lot of new eyeballs at once. So it's normally really good for attracting quick volume. A lot of people think that, oh, it's just tire kickers on Facebook and Instagram. If that's what you're dealing with, you're gonna have to dial in your messaging and really get a little bit more detailed on your targeting and the vetting system that you run those leads through on the back end. We've seen projects come in through Facebook and Instagram as small as $5,000 to as large as $1.5, $2 million in certain cases, and then obviously everything in between from $5,000 to over $1 million. We've seen it all. The buyers are out there, to big developers that are looking to get massive projects done, to residential buyers that are just looking to have smaller one-day projects done, maybe $2,500 to $5,000, somewhere in that range. And believe it or not, we've even had residential buyers come through some of our clients' funnels that have paid upwards of $300,000 for certain projects to get done. So those buyers are out there, and it's normally a very large limiting belief that a lot of contractors have, that the types of buyers that they want to attract just simply aren't out there. That keeps them stagnant. That limiting belief really keeps them in a place of paralyzation, if you will, and it just keeps them stagnant because they don't even believe that the opportunity is out there. And I'm thinking about this. I'm like, if you don't even believe that the opportunities are out there, or you think you're in a bad market, or you think it's the economy or whatever it is in your area, whatever is causing you to not be successful, why are you even in business? If all of these things are actually a problem, why don't you just go get a job or something? It's crazy to me just how many people think that there's one factor or another that's outside of their control, which is the reason why they're not getting any work. And if you're going to live through that narrative, I mean, why not just do something else in the first place? So all of those companies that we see and all those contractors that we've worked with and have experienced during our tenure have had really, really dialed in marketing systems, and they normally start with Facebook and Instagram, dial that in very quickly. Since the Andromeda update last July of 2025 was an update that Meta ended up rolling out, and it basically required advertisers to basically double and triple the amount of creatives that they're having to run, sometimes even more. It's just a very basic rule of thumb for us that it's you need bare minimum 40 to 50 new creatives like every single month, like on deck, or at least 20 different very, very unique messaging angles to actually attract your buyers. Like if after this video, go and look on Facebook or Instagram. When you scroll, like you'll see like content, then an ad, content, then an ad. And basically what Facebook wants to do, their incentive is to keep you scrolling on the app. So what are they going to do? They're going to keep showing you ads that you engage with. And if you, as an advertiser for your business, are only running like 3 ads, well, people are going to get pretty sick of seeing the same 3 ads every single time. And then Meta's just not going to show your ads to the people that are engaging with it anymore, which will just really kill your conversions, obviously, on the back end. But long story short, marketing systems have got to be dialed in. The correct funnels have got to be in place behind those marketing systems as well. It's just super critical this day and age to scaling any local service contracting business. Very, very, very important. Now, so you might be sitting here watching this and you're like, oh, I wonder if Dirt2Dollars can even help out my business. And I guess I'd be pretty curious to see if we can help you out as well. But you're also curious, what do these guys even offer? So basically, we're a full-blown marketing company and growth partner, strategic growth partner for contractors in the United States. We don't really care what you do. If it's land clearing, if it's excavation, if you're an outdoor living contractor, if you're a roofer, whether it's HVAC, you could be a plumber for all I care. If you're a contractor in the United States, we can absolutely help you grow and scale. And we want to do that by putting and implementing the right marketing and sales systems into your business. So we want to run all of your marketing for you, dial that into a T, and actually generate the leads. And once we generate the leads for you, we want to call all of them on behalf of your business. So like when we call a lead on behalf of your business, it's not, oh, hey, this is Brady with Dirt2Dollars. It'll be like, no, this is, hey, this is Brady with, like, you know, fill in whatever your company name is here. You know, what is it that you're looking to get done? We actually have that call on behalf of your business and convert only the qualified ones into an on-site appointment. We want to give you that chance to actually close those deals. So if we feel like you have a solid shot at actually closing this deal, we're going to send that appointment through, book it on your calendar with a date and time, a place to be. So all you got to do is just show up on that date and that specific time, and then close the deal. We send you an entire appointment report as well, but we handle it all. We're very, very proud of our communication systems, 24/7 communication. We handle it all in Slack. You'll have a dedicated CSM that works with you, and for a large portion of like these contractors that have been very, very successful with us, it's come down to the communication aspect. We're very, very good at that. We're very good at understanding what's going on your end, not you just understanding what's going on our end, but when we actually book those appointments, why are the deals closing? Why are the deals not closing? We're going to get very in-depth with you on that and actually figure out what's going on your end and what's going on inside of your business, so that way we can tailor our strategies, our approaches in a way that's going to fit your business, so that way you can actually scale efficiently, and we're going to be very sure about that. So if you want to see if we can help you out, there is a link in the description of this video. You can book a 10 to 15 minute call with us. You'll have to fill out a quick application before you do so, and on that 10 to 15 minute phone call, we're just going to talk about you, just talk about what's going on in your business, and really just figure out if it's even going to make sense to partner up in the first place. If we do think it's going to make sense to partner up, well, I'm very excited to work with you, and I look forward to meeting you. But in the meantime, there's that link in the description. Let's get back to the video. The other thing that a lot of people end up leaving out is what to actually do with the lead once you actually generate it. So these contractors who are very successful and know how to scale very aggressively, they know how to close deals. They're no stranger to closing deals, and they know how to convert that cold audience. They know how to convert that cold audience that they're able to target using their marketing into actual cash collected for their business. Super important, and you got to be able to do it, because if you can't do that, if you can't convert the cold audience, well, then you're going to be still stuck in the same spot of relying on word of mouth and referrals. So these guys have dialed in sales systems. These guys have a sales process dialed into a T. They have very good introductory calls when they first get on the phone with a potential client. They're able to kind of vet out the client themselves over the phone before meeting with them on site for that on-site appointment, and they actually are able to feel out that prospect for any potential objections that might come up when they drop the price on that person on site. So they're putting out feelers for like decision makers. They're trying to set themselves up to get around or prevent the let me think about it objection, trying to create some type of urgency or scarcity before they even drop price on site. These guys are really good at doing that, and they're super good at preventing objections before they actually get on site, run a proper sales process with somebody, run them through a discovery process again once they get on site, making sure that what they're pitching is everything that this person is looking for, so that way when it comes down to actually dropping the price, the customer is feeling like they're making the best decision of all time by going with that contractor. Now, I have other videos on my channel here that go into much deeper detail on how to run like a very clean and proper sales process if you're a contractor, so highly encourage you go check some of those out. But just for the sake of this video, having a dialed in sales process is incredibly important. From when you generate the lead, from marketing to what you do with them right after they opt in. Are they getting a phone call within 5 minutes? How's that initial introductory call going? When maybe an appointment or a potential appointment's like set up, calling that lead before you go back out there, running through the appointment report or running through appointment details that you might have already gotten, and be like, so I know you're looking to get 10 acres cleared and you're looking to do it for X, Y, and Z reason, yada, 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 and just like diving into like that little discovery process. Are there any other decision makers that need to be on site with you? Oh, I might need to run it by my wife. Okay, perfect. Let's get her out there too so she's on the same page. Okay, sounds great. Now you've got both decision makers out there on site, and you're not going to have to deal with let me go talk to my spouse objection. Do they know their property lines? Have they gotten any other bids? What have they been bid in the past? How long have they been wanting to do the project for? If they've been wanting to do the project for like 12 months, why haven't they pulled the trigger on it yet? Or if it's maybe they've just decided, last week that they want to do the project, why now? What was that like epiphany that they had in their mind? What that was like, why did they have to like get this thing done? Is it a luxury? Is it a want? Is it a need? What's actually going on here? You should know all of these things before you get remotely close to dropping the price, because all those things I just covered could prevent you from actually closing a deal, because the prospect potential customer will start pulling things, just pulling them out of their, and basically giving you a reason why they're not going to close with you, and it makes it just very tough to actually close the deal. So preventing objections, these contractors who scale aggressively and do so very successfully, they're very good at preventing objections, so it's a very important thing to keep in mind. One of the last factors I'll cover here on contractors that are very successful all across the United States, as you can probably see, like I'm not talking about rocket science here. It's pretty simple principles. They're simple but might be tough to execute on in certain situations, but it's not rocket science. It's nothing that crazy. Like, we're not reinventing the wheel over here. These contractors that are doing millions and millions and millions of dollars a year, they're not doing anything that special, in all due respect to them, but it's a very simple process. Marketing's dialed in, sales are dialed in, and then the last part of this that actually involves and leads to them being hyper successful in their respective markets is actually dialing in their fulfillment as well. But obviously you can't dial in fulfillment if marketing and sales. If you don't have any clients, you can't get really good at what you do. But these guys get really, really good at that, and they get good at streamlining it as well. So these guys have crews, sometimes multiple crews that are working for them, a bunch of pieces of equipment, a ton of trucks, an entire fleet of trucks and equipment that they can mobilize at any given time, and they know how to keep it working. They know how to keep it efficiently working in every part of the operation. These guys will have 5 different projects going on at the exact same time, and they understand too that they need to maintain a backlog of around like 2 months, right, with jobs that they can cash flow pretty easily on. So let's say it's like a 6 to 8 week backlog, right, that these guys are able to maintain. When they are maintaining maybe an 8 week or a little over 8 week backlog for 3 months straight, then they know, okay, I can add in another crew here and maybe extend my fleet a little bit, and then bring that backlog down to like 4 weeks, and then they can ramp up sales and marketing again to get the backlog up to 8 weeks comfortably, which is kind of like the sweet spot of what we have seen. But these guys know how to do that, and they know how to systematically keep doing that, so that way they can scale, because it's really where it starts to scale. So they get to a point where they're booked out 6 to 8 weeks. Now they bring in a couple of guys. Now their backlog shrinks to like maybe 4 to 6 weeks, and then they ramp up marketing and sales again, and now boom, they're straight back up to that 8 week backlog. And they just keep doing that in order to scale. But they're very good at deploying their capital and deploying the money that they have on hand very effectively. These guys are very, very good at doing that. They know how to save capital. We've worked with a handful of guys, unfortunately, that one in particular, because of our efforts, I think $150,000 got driven into this guy's business, a little over that, I believe, within the first 4 months of working with us. And this was a huge influx of cash that this guy had never seen before. And essentially, it was you know, it was exciting for him. It was a very exciting time, which I totally understand where he's coming from with that. But then he went out and he buys like 2 new pieces of equipment, a brand new shop, redoes all the concrete in the shop, basically spends all the money and gets to a point where he's looking like he has to like decrease like his ad spend. The thing that actually drove that much cash into the business, he's now cutting back on because he went and spent all of his money in the wrong places. And we've seen that happen so many times. We do see it happen a lot with a lot of contractors who we speak with, who for one reason or another don't end up signing on with us, whether it's just not a good fit at the time or something else just wasn't aligned. And then they end up coming back to us like 3, 5, 6, 8 months later, and they're like, yeah, I'm in like a worse position. Like nothing's changed. Like things have actually gone backwards on me. I've done less revenue since I've last spoke with you guys. And it's like, I see this in like multiple different areas. It's in one of 2 areas. It's when they make a lot of money, deploy the cash way too quickly into things that aren't going to actually move the business forward, or they don't make any change, don't deploy any cash at all, and it's a slow bleed, and they end up just kind of sinking to the bottom in their market. But the contractors that are obviously pushing multiple millions of dollars a year, and much more than that, to be fair to those guys too, these guys have those things dialed in, and they're very, very aware of that. They're very aware of what it takes to actually you know, divert cash to the right places in the business that's actually going to drive revenue. And they think like a CEO. They know that they're the bottleneck. They know that if they're on a job site for 12 hours a day, they're not going to be able to push new sales. They're not going to be able to scale effectively. And these guys understand that. They know they have to delegate. They know they have to delegate to A players, which is an entirely different topic. They know they have to spend the money and pay top dollar for the right people in their organization, so that way they can keep doing the highest revenue actions on a day-to-day basis, and that's what really allows them to scale. So hope you enjoyed this video. That was just kind of like I don't know, like a quick rant, but pretty valuable insights there. It's really simple. Like I said, like I mentioned earlier, these guys are not reinventing the wheel. It's very, very simple, and we've noticed these patterns with all the contractors who are hyper successful. All of them are dialed in all of those areas. So I really hope this helped. If you want to, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button as well. We post a lot of sauce on this channel, and there's also that link down in the description as well if you want to check out what we offer and see if what we offer would even be a good fit for you. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.